This story is absolutely scandalous for Keir Starmer, yet nobody is talking about it. This actually came out last week, but it's gone completely unnoticed. Keir Starmer seems to have got away with it because everyone is so busy talking about Trump's tariffs. But if you ask me, Keir Starmer has blood on his hands and he has questions to answer, because this guy on screen here, Liam Matthews, he was released from prison early, whilst Keir Starmer was happily having locked up other people for Facebook posts, shouting at police in riots and whatnot. He was letting out dangerous people like that. This guy, what did he do? He killed a man on the same day that he was released from prison. So he was involved in the killing of this man, Lewis Bell, age only 26, whole life ahead of him, father of one as well. Let's take a look at what happened when Liam Matthews was released from prison. So he left HMP Home House in the Durham area, and apparently a father of one, age 26, who you've just seen, Lewis Bell, was hunted down, quote, like prey by Matthews, that's the prisoner that was released, Ashton White, 18, and Sean McLeod, 23, over a drug dispute. And Liam Matthews, who was released from prison, and someone with a surname White, they were convicted of manslaughter, and another guy at McLeod was convicted of the guy's murder. So there were several of them involved. Liam Matthews ends up getting a manslaughter conviction, and one of his mates gets a murder conviction. So the Ministry of Justice say they had no choice but to implement the emergency early release program. So why was this guy behind bars in the first place? What is the background here? Well, he was jailed for 22 months at the same court for violent disorder after kicking and stamping on his victim in a street fight. However, he was released early as part of Labour's plan to free up space amid a boom in prison population during the first month of the emergency measures. This is all being reported in the Telegraph. After his release on the morning of September 18th, Matthews was involved in a fatal knife attack, which resulted in Mr. Bell being left to die in the street. I'm going to show you the shocking timeline of events in just a second in more detail. But one thing I just want to comment on here, right, is we keep being told by Labour that the people that they let out of prison were pretty safe people. Oh, we're not letting anybody who's, committed a violent crime out of prison. Don't worry, we're not letting people who are violent, who are rapists, etc. out on the streets. But this guy was evidently let out early, and the crime that he was behind bars for was violent disorder, kicking and stamping on someone in the street. Okay, this is not a safe guy to have out on the streets. Okay, now let's have a look at this, shocking detail of what actually happened. This is really horrifying to read. The court heard during his initial hours of freedom, he met with his probation officer and attended a job centre appointment before going to the pub. So he ticked the boxes that he needed to tick and then went off on a bender. He then used his £96 prison release grant to help fund his purchase of drugs and spent the rest of the day taking crack cocaine. Matthews then joined in the violent attack on Mr. Bell, wielding a chisel before stamping on him as he lay there. Horrifying to read. What vile human beings to do that to a man. Just absolutely shocking. And this would not have happened if it weren't for Keir Starmer and his party's early release program. Keir Starmer, I have said it before and I will say it again, he has blood on his hands for this man's death, because this guy would still be alive today if it weren't for Keir Starmer's policy. Let's have a look at what Robert Jenrick, Shadow Justice Secretary, had to say about this. This tragic death was preventable. Prisoners sentenced for violent offences obviously shouldn't be let out early. The Justice Secretary's plans to let out more serious offenders are a very real risk to the public. She must think again. Instead, the government need to deport more foreign national offenders, clogging up cells, and reduce the remand population in prison by speeding up trials. So there we go. Please share this far and wide, because I really do think that Keir Starmer needs to be held to account for this. I do not think he should be getting away with this just because everyone is busy talking about Trump's tariffs right now. I think this is an absolutely shocking story. Someone, a father who is only 26 years old, has their whole life ahead of them, has tragically lost their life because of Keir Starmer's policy. It is unacceptable. Anyway, I'm Chloe Dobbs. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the Reason channel for more videos like this.